Tell us something about your journey as it relates to business ownership.
Became a respiratory therapist.
Okay.
And I did that. Did it well and realized that the walls of a hospital was not my thing. I worked a lot of shifts. I saw how much I would make if I worked as hard as I could. I saw that if I worked as hard as I could, I still wouldn't be appreciated. I would get all the crappy shifts. And this one day I was charting, just like every other therapist does. And the manager came in and said, "Hey, why don't you go clean the storage room?" And I'm like, I'm charting just like everyone else. And I realized right then that, if I don't make a change for something else, this would be what my life would be. And that's when I started all site construction.
Okay.
I studied at night during my midnight shifts. During my rounds, I studied for the general contracting test. And that, again, education was my path out of that situation.
Wow. Yeah.
I passed the test on the first time, and the rest is history.
Wow. So All Site is the name of the company. And what pushed you toward construction? I mean, you're a respiratory therapist, and all of a sudden you shift and go into. Is it because your father was doing something related, or what was it?
That's a good question. When I worked with my father, there was always this guy who would jump out of this big white truck with boat shoes, shorts, and a boat belt. He would hand my father a check, and get back in his truck that was running and go away.
Okay.
That would always happen when we were working out there on his jobs. And I never knew who that guy was. So fast forward, I'm a therapist, and I am taking care of some gentlemen. And this guy was sitting in bed, in his sick bed, and he and I would communicate. And he says, "Oh, man, you're like a nice guy. What do you do? Boom, boom, boom. I mean, where are you from?" And I said, "Oh, my name is Sappho." He said, "Sappho? I knew your granddaddy, T.C. Sappho." He just paved my work. And I said, "Well, what do you do?" "I'm a general contractor." He said, "Man, that's something that you probably can do. Man, that's a lot of money in general contracting."
Wow.
And I said, "Okay." All right. And it kind of just, sat there. And then I took care of another patient who was a statewide contractor. He said, "Hey, man, you look like the guy that would make a good contractor." And right then I realized who the guy in the white truck was. He was a general contractor.
Wow. I'll ask some questions about faith in a minute, but it looks like God was placing some people in your space, in your world, that could lead you maybe down the path that you ended up going in. So
I would say 100%.
Yes. That's good.
That is the case.
Yeah.
And that's what led me to all site construction.
Now, let me hear what's your story?
Okay. Well, basically I worked at a childcare facility for 18 years, and I matriculated from the classroom to a director's position. I resigned in 2006. Only to try to see what else there was out there for me. But my love for children and families brought me to my very first business, which was a tutorial program. And I taught students writing skills. Then I began to help with resume writing for adults, ACT prep, SAT prep. So everything that had something to do with writing. And the company is called Scriptfully You Enrichment. So during that time, as I was tutoring, one of the parents, I was tutoring her child. She said, "There is the trainer program that's going to be happening on this Saturday. You should go." That was someone that God placed in my life. I went that Saturday, and so happened that Saturday the trainer program was like maybe 3 Saturdays. The third Saturday we had to do a mock presentation. So during the mock presentation, I was basically hired because the person that was on the panel that was, I guess, judging the presentations for all the participants in the class, she hired me to do a contract. What they call.
So you were hired to do training, to be the expert trainer for teachers?
Yes.
Or instructors?
For early educators. There is what you call 40-hour certification in early education in the state of Florida.
Okay.
And I actually was hired to do that from taking that class. Who I met in that class, I was hired from that. So
Wow.
that contract lasted for at least 8 years. And in doing that, I was also adjunct professional for Palm Beach State. So I did that for about 9 years. And it kind of moved me forward to be able to want more. How can I impact more people? Because basically I was training teachers to pour into students.
Wow.
So I was like, how can I make a greater impact? So that's when it got to the point where I was accredited in 2017 so I can go nationwide.